Battlefield 6 is officially here, and there's one question that everybody's been asking. Is it going to kill Call of Duty? Let's talk about it. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are here literally at the setup. It's almost 12 o'clock at night. The beta went live at 4 a.m. Eastern. I got on shortly after, streamed for a good bit, played pretty much the entire day, and I have a lot of thoughts, a lot of negatives, a lot of positives, and a few suggestions to add into this game when the full release happens. But we need to talk about a few of these things, and obviously the intro was pretty simple. Is this the game that's going to kill Call of Duty? Now, I want to start off with something that I think is very important off the rip. Now, I know this is a brand new game. It's an open beta, but this game had like some sort of crazy viewership on Twitch today. It had like 800,000 views. And if you didn't know this, Season 5 released for Black Ops 6. And I think at the high was like 30 or 40K. So it's a brand new season versus a brand new game. I know it's not like the perfect 1-to-1 ratio, but that is something to keep in mind. And you know what? This comes shortly after Tom Henderson, who's a well-known like journalist, gaming journalist, said that Activision is not worried about Battlefield at all. They have the next 4 releases. They've went on record and said this, and Tom Henderson's reported they are not worried about Battlefield 6 at all. And for me to see that and hear that, I was kind of like, are we kidding? Like, are we serious? We don't have any, like, we're not thinking at all about this. Like, this isn't affecting how our strategy at all for Call of Duty. It just took me back a little bit. So I want to talk about this whole thing, my whole experience today. I want to go over probably the negatives first and just kind of brush over that. And then we'll go into the positives. I know I kind of said that already. And then I just want to give you my actual unfiltered thoughts of, do I think I see this game killing Call of Duty in the near future? So let's dive right into the negatives. And I got to start it off because it hits right away. It hits as soon as you get into the main menu. And that is, it's the settings. I don't know what in the world happened. I don't know what year this happened. I don't know what developer started this trend. Settings are getting out of control. To start, the settings menu itself is very clunky. I feel like there's a little bit of bugs happening right now. Like, you'll go into a setting, try to get out of it, and then you'll have to use like your D-pad, but then you end up going all the way back out, and you're just like, no, I just want to change my sensitivity. So then let's talk about the sensitivity. I streamed this game today, and luckily I had my stream telling me what to do. You need a rocket science degree. I don't even know if that's a real thing, but you need it to figure out how to change your sensitivity. I hate to sound like an old man because I feel like I do this a lot, but back when I would play Call of Duty 4, World at War, the sensitivity was one button, low, medium, or high. What do you want to play on? That was your ADS, that was your look sensitivity. Now, I think times have gotten, over time things get better, and that's a good thing. And we've just gone too far. There was settings for the aim. I didn't even know how to pronounce some of these. What's it changing? I have no idea. Now, next up, we are going to go into more of a gameplay thing. And I don't know if you guys had this issue. I talked to a lot of people that seem to have it as well. And it was like a sprint bug. So one of the settings that I did turn on was automatic sprint. When you just hit up, you would automatically sprint. Obviously, that's the setting. But I would find myself multiple instances not being able to sprint, not being able to move forward. So the only real thing I could do was like spam jump, or I'd have to pull back on my left stick, and then I could then sprint. It was almost like a walk, and you would get stuck in it. Now, it didn't happen a ton, but it would happen in some opportune moments where I'm like, okay, I'm feeling good, I'm looking good, and now I can't move. So I think it's a bug. I would assume it's a bug. Multiple people had it. So I just want to mark that down to kind of ruining the flow there. I haven't honestly ran into a bunch of bugs unless I'm losing my marbles. but there wasn't a lot of crazy things where I'm like, what the heck is going on here? Next up is the SMGs. Okay, I gotta say it. They might be the most pointless gun I've ever seen in my entire life. Now, let me tell you why I say that. Number one, I know it's an SMG, but man, the range on these things are terrible. Now, I'm a Call of Duty guy, so I know some of you guys are going to get angry at me. I'm sure Battlefield people have a certain way how they like their guns. But again, just a reminder, you're trying to get Call of Duty people to play your game, so maybe let's just think about them for a little bit. I can use an MP5 and MW19 from short range, and I would say medium-ish range as well if you're feeling good, if your aim's dialed in. I felt like this thing became a pea shooter from medium range. Now, long range, that makes sense. Now, when you're up close, it does its job. But let me tell you why I feel like they're pointless right now and why I think they should add a little bit of medium velocity to them. Because there's something called a shotgun in this game. And that thing is one of the most overpowered things I've ever seen in my entire life. But real quick side note, we'll talk about it. I love it. Don't nerf it. So the shotgun, you can use an AR and have a shotgun as your secondary, which doesn't really leave a middle ground, in my opinion, for an SMG. You can have an AR for long range and then you can have a shotgun for short range. Why in the world would you rock an SMG? And I'm an SMG player. Every Call of Duty, MP5, the VMP, the MP7, the Vaznev, the MP40, like that's the guns that I'm using more often than not. And it always felt like I had to use an AR, which I just felt I was kind of frustrated with that because I like to run and gun. And so SMGs, I think there needs to be some sort of compromise on that, maybe a little bit of a buff. And Battlefield people, maybe you tell me how that works, but I think it needs a little bit more. Now, speaking of a little bit more, so far in the beta, I don't know if I've unlocked it or not. This could be me, but I felt like I ran out of ammo a ton. Now, I know there's pitchforks already coming out, Battlefield people. There's somebody that provides ammunition and blah, 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 blah. I get it, man. But I want to just kind of play and have fun. And I felt like the amount of times that I ran out of ammo in flow state, as they would say nowadays, was more often than not. And I know that there's packs all around, and maybe that's on me to kind of pay attention to them a little bit more. But I do feel like there could maybe be some more ammo, whether it's a different magazine, extended mag, etc. I would like to see that happen a little bit more so I could get even more kills, because I was feeling good, man. All right, so we've went over the negatives, and if I think about any more of them, we'll actually add them at some point within this section. But I have my notes here. I'm telling you guys, I literally played for like 10 hours. I have not played a game for 10 hours in the same day for probably since MW19 and Warzone 1. So I want to give credit right now that we moved on to the positives, of just right off the rip of how much fun this game was to play. Again, there has been a lot of games that have come out and they've gone just as quickly as they've entered into the gaming space. And this one felt like the hype was actually deserved and not forced. It's one of those things, it's kind of like the Fortnite back in the day, where when Fortnite came out, you just kind of naturally played it. Your friends played it, you told them about it, and all of a sudden your entire friends list was on Fortnite. And that's the same thing that happened with Warzone, and it feels like it's what happened with Battlefield today. Of course, there was people that were paid to play the game. I get that. That's part of marketing campaigns now, and that's totally fine. But the amount of people that were asking me for beta codes and being like, bro, the game looks so good, I want to play it. That just felt good, because we just have not had that in forever. Name a game off the top of your head and put it in the comments. The last time we've all kind of had this unified, positive outlook on a game. I can't even tell you. So let's go into my positive impressions on this. Man, there's so much to talk about, really. This game looks incredible. I felt like as visually stunning. Again, I am playing on the Xbox Series X. I haven't even experienced it on the Battlefield or on the PC yet, which I'm sure would be just unbelievable looking. So the look of the game, the sounds of the game, it felt like I was in a real war. I was in a real battle, no pun intended. And you can really, like, when you really think about that, it was so refreshing, man. It was so refreshing. And you know what was refreshing too? To just look around and see army skins. And I know I say this a lot. I don't want to be the guy that's just always the skins problem. But I've said it before. I think Call of Duty does not realize how much influence skins are now becoming. There are people that are leaving games because they don't want to see skins like that in a game. I don't want to see American Dad slide canceling in front of me. I don't. And to see like just normal soldiers in their different gear for their different, you know, whatever icon they were or whatever, it reminded me of like 2009 again. And it felt good. It really did. And EA, if you're watching this, I know a few of the devs are following me now, which number one, or we'll talk about that in a second, actually. Please try to keep this as realistic as you can. And I'm not talking about realistic as in like you get shot in one bullet. Keep the skins normal. I promise you, people will buy these Milsim skins if they're clean looking and they like your game. They're gonna want to support the game. They're gonna want to support that direction. So yeah, that was my skins and the overall look. It just feels like a war game, and I miss that so much. Realistically, it kind of felt like the maps were like a COD 4 and MW19 clone. Again, I'm gonna compare stuff to Call of Duty because that's who I am. I'm a Call of Duty guy. There was a lot of maps that just, I'm like, it felt like COD 4 and Modern Warfare 19 like had a baby, which is maybe a crazy thing to say, but I'm gonna say it. And let me just say this as a little side note on another positive. I just briefly touched on it, but a lot of the devs that I have never met, never talked to, have followed me recently because maybe of my Battlefield tweets or my streams or my videos or who knows. And they've DM'd me. They have said, hey, please give us feedback. They are doing such a good job of replying to the community and getting feedback from people. The community managers that I've chatted with, you guys know who you are. They've been incredible, and it just feels like I feel heard. And as corny as that sounds, sometimes it feels like with Call of Duty you're just talking to a wall. There's not really a community manager listening to feedback, tweeting out, hey, we're doing this because of this, we're gonna go this direction, hey, we see the skins are a little bit crazy, but don't worry, we're gonna dial them back in Black Ops 7. We have no idea what's going on. We have no idea. And with Battlefield 6, it's just been refreshment of, guys, I'm gonna say refreshed a lot because it's been refreshing to play a game that it feels like there's a ton of passion behind it. Not that there's not passion behind the Call of Duty devs, don't twist my words there. But the community aspect of it, feeling like when you can tweet somebody and say, hey, you know, I think this is messed up. I tweeted the guy about the settings just an hour ago. He's like, hey, already passed it to the team. I'm like, this is insane. This is crazy. I'm just not used to it. So that is a massive W in my opinion. And so let's go to another thing, the gunplay. I was very, very satisfied with the gunplay. Whether it was an AR, whether it was a shotgun, whether it was a sniper, whether it was the SMG or LMG, I tried to use every gun I could that I had unlocked. And listen, I suck at sniping, but the sniping, when you hit a headshot, it was so satisfying. I never have, it's been a long time since I felt that satisfaction from a video game. The shotguns felt great. The ARs felt great. We're gonna go a little bit here for the positives, actually. And that's, I mentioned this to my buddy too. It felt kind of good to be bad at something. I don't play Battlefield. So when I got in there, I had to learn how to move. I had to learn how to chill a little bit. I had to learn how to control my shots, because you can't just spam when you're shooting far away. You got to control your recoil. You got to lead your sniper a little bit, not a crazy amount, but you got to hit your headshots, because if you don't, it's only a body shot. It takes like 60 or 70 damage. So you're not going to get the kill, of course, unless they're hurt. But how do the shotguns work? How did the stimming work? You know, it just felt good to try to learn something and kind of get thrown into the fire a little bit and have to learn this brand new game. So I think that's going to be something that I'm really looking out for, is improving. How do I improve at this game? Getting the settings would be nice to start. Another thing that I absolutely loved, which it kind of ties in with the levels and the overall sound design, and my gosh, y'all in the Battlefield community, destruction, I didn't know y'all had it like that. Now, I don't think it's been as crazy in the last couple years, because Battlefield 1 and 2042 and 5, I hear that they're not as crazy with that. But to me, this is what I've heard. This is Battlefield 3 and 4 on steroids. Yeah, I think it is. I mean, I was in a building one time, somebody threw a C4 or a tank, the whole building collapsed. And the audio, I'm just like, what is going on? But it was like the coolest feeling. So I feel like I'm unlocking a little bit of that Battlefield, why people fell in love with Battlefield way back when in Battlefield 3, Bad Company. I think there was, okay, so the last match that I played today, the map, I don't know which map it is. It has a bunch of like the rooftops. You can get on the rooftops. And by the end of the map, by the end of the domination match, the entire map was like leveled. All the buildings were done. The high points were gone. The camping areas were gone. And I'm just like, this is a totally different map. It kind of reminded me of Strike Zone from Ghost, where it's after the explosion, the DNA bomb goes off or whatever it's called, or the chem strike. It's like, wait, this is a totally different map. And that's what it felt like. So it just gives you a different flair, which I'm loving that, man. I'm loving the feel of it right now. Another positive I saw was customization. Very easy to do. The UI was very simple for like changing attachments. We got pick 10 in Battlefield 6 before GTA 6, before Call of Duty got it. We've been begging for that for so long. I know it's not pick 10, but you know, it's very similar. Like, you carry a grenade, you carry a stim, you have a gun with like 5 attachments that are very easy to understand. And there wasn't very many attachments either. You know, Vanguard Call of Duty got so carried away. 7 attachments or 8 attachments, 9,000 attachments in Modern Warfare 2 and 3. My gosh. I mean, go try to make a Warzone class nowadays. It's unbelievable. So to summarize all that, I'm just very impressed with the overall feel of Battlefield. I really am. And this one feels different. You know, I've played bits and pieces here and there. This feels different. And lastly, real quick on the positives, the shotgun. We briefly mentioned it. I love this shotgun. I think it should stay. Now, I know people were begging for it to be nerfed. I don't think that's the answer. Everybody else has the ability to use it. Let them use it. It's fun. It's fun to just go on a rampage with that thing. And another thing, real quick, speaking of guns, the familiarity. Is that how you say it? The familiarity. I think that's the word. The kilos in the game. The AMAX is in the game. The MP7 is in the game. They're not titled those, but from somebody that loved MW19, this was a game where I'm like, wow, I know these guns. It's very easy to use them again. It felt like a continuation of MW19. That's going to get me roasted, but I don't really care. It felt like what a continuation of MW19 could have been if they had destruction and crazy audio and all sorts of stuff. But I am very impressed, and I might be getting Battlefield pilled. Is that what they call that nowadays? Battlefield pilled? Okay, so the reason that you all are probably here, we went over the negatives, we went over the positives. Now we need to answer the question, is Battlefield 6 enough to kill Call of Duty or make a dent in it? Here's the thing. I'm going to say right now, it is possible. Now, I don't think it's possible for them to kill Call of Duty completely, but I think it is definitely possible for them to make a dent. I think there is definitely a difference. Now, I go back to Infinite Warfare and Battlefield 1. Many of you know the story. Infinite Warfare, we were wanting a Call of Duty that was no longer jetpacks. They gave us another one, and then they gave us another one that was in space. And then Battlefield 1 drops this amazing trailer, amazing game, World War I shooter, exactly what people were wanting. And then it was a tug of war. Like, wow, Battlefield might have a chance this year. And then here comes Call of Duty, and they drop COD 4 Remastered because they know they're in trouble. I think Battlefield 6 is going to wake up Call of Duty. That's what I think is going to happen. I don't think it's going to kill them because I think it's going to wake them up. And if it doesn't wake them up, shame on them, honestly, because I think there's going to be a lot of people that are going to give this game a shot. You can get this thing on EA Access. Sign up for it for like $5 a month and you get 10 hours. Give it a shot. That way it's like renting a game at Blockbuster nowadays. But I think there's a few things that they need to do, at least from a Call of Duty perspective, to get people to come over to this game. Number one, I feel like there needs to be smaller modes. Now, I know, again, I'm going to say this multiple times. I'm probably going to get roasted for this, but I'm a Call of Duty guy. I like quick action. That's what I'm about. I played Domination 99% of the time. I played the what is it called? I keep saying, I'm thinking Galactic Conquest from Battlefront. It's not that. It's the same thing, though. That big mode, I'm sorry, I don't like it. It takes too long to find people. The whole reviving thing, the tanks everywhere. I know that's what Battlefield is, a lot of it, but I just don't care for it. I loved Domination. I love the fact that they added in a quick spawn. I don't know if you guys noticed that, but anytime I've ever watched Battlefield, even if I'm playing team deathmatch or hardpoint or whatever they have, I'm sorry, Domination, you would always get that. You'd have to get a revive, and then you would die, and then you'd have the eagle view where you'd look down and pick something. They got rid of that. So as soon as you die in this in Domination, you can either sit there and get rezzed, or you can quick spawn. There's no overlook. You're right back in the game. And honestly, the spawns were really good for having that quick motion where Battlefield's not typically used to it. So I think we need to get some modes that could bring some people over to Call of Duty that would kind of be that bridge, if that makes sense. So the ones that I thought of were obviously Domination is one. Search and Destroy, I think, could bang on Battlefield, especially with that revive mechanic that they added where you could pull a teammate out. Imagine a Search and Destroy on one of these maps, a little bit smaller. You maybe condense it a little bit more, 2 bomb sites. You have the ability to kind of revive somebody if they're there. It's 1 life, but you have that revive mechanic. I think that would be banger, because that's one of my favorite Call of Duty modes of all time. It just is. It is. And I think they could add hardpoint, because that kind of is one little point. It moves around the map, you fight for it, and it's quick action. And those are the 2 modes that kind of popped into my head. Search, they're obviously going to have TDM. So Search, TDM, hardpoint, and then Domination. Those 4 modes at launch, I think, would be insane. That the Call of Duty people would jump so quickly to play those. And then I have to say it. It's a discussion that's going to be had. I think if this game can bring something new to the Battle Royale genre, that is going to put the dent in Call of Duty. A lot of people will play the multiplayer for a little bit. I will play it. I'm becoming slowly a more multiplayer guy than I am a Warzone guy. I've kind of faded from the Battle Royale scene for a little bit, but people are going to play this for a couple weeks and they'll have fun, and then they're going to look for that rush, and that seems to be Battle Royale for a lot of people nowadays. So if what they're cooking is a good Battle Royale with some sort of component to kind of spice the genre up a little bit, Obviously, Warzone brought loadouts. Apex brought the Revive van, I think, and then Fortnite added it. You know, just something where you're like, okay, let's do it. Let's do something there. I know they're doing possibly tanks and stuff, but I think it's very important. And what I like too that they're doing is they're not launching everything at the same time. They're launching the game, and then apparently it's going to be a month later for the BR. So let us enjoy the game. Let us rank our guns up, where it's not just some brain rot simulator for the battle royale. People go into Nuketown and rank it up. Play the game for a month, and then we'll get you the stuff when the game comes out. I don't know how they're going to handle that. Maybe loadouts. Maybe it'll be back to BR being a BR again, where everything's random, which that would be my vote. So that would be my 2 suggestions. And realistically, just stay communicating with us. Stay communicating with us, just like you've been doing so far. I think people are tired of Call of Duty right now, man. And I think Black Ops 7, I'm excited for it, because I get excited for the next Call of Duty no matter what. But I think there's a lot of maybe casuals that are just like, I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm gonna go play Battlefield this year. And I think they need to make sure they watch that. Call of Duty, I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you, please. I know you're gonna sell your billions and billions, but let's keep people on the game longer than December. You want to keep people on till March and April and the summer. Look at season 5. It didn't end up well. But now I'm kind of ranting, so I'm sorry. But overall, my experience with this beta has been phenomenal. I have had a great time. This is not paid. This is not an ad. This is me, just a COD fanboy trying out Battlefield 6. So what I suggest you guys to get this, yeah, the open beta is this weekend and next weekend. It's free. And then, like I said, get EA Play, man. Get EA Play and get a 10-hour trial of the game when it comes out in October and see if you like it. I hope you enjoyed this. Again, I'm really enjoying just chatting. I'm enjoying chatting, giving you my thoughts, my feedback. I hope you guys enjoyed it. All comments are welcome, man. You can roast me in the comments down below. You can tell me what you guys like about the game, what you hate about it so far, if you've played it. And if you guys want to see more Battlefield, too bad if you don't want to, because it's going to be happening. Because I think this is a game that I really want to explore now. It's kind of opened my eyes a little bit to some other games, like I said in the previous videos. But now I'm ranting far too long. It's 12 o'clock. I need to go to bed. I'm an old man. Hope you enjoyed this. Leave a like if you did. Subscribe if you're new. If you want to see more Battlefield content, it's more on the way. Call of Duty will be there as well, as always. And we'll see you in the next one.